Oh, hello. Welcome back or welcome to, Red Cardinal Tarot, my channel. If you'd like to share or donate to the channel, I do have my Cash App in the description. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you can reach out at redcardinaltarot@gmail.com. Obviously, those of you that might have watched part 1 and part 2, technically the end of part 2 did get cut off again. So yeah, I'm not probably gonna remake that unless I get enough likes and comments requesting that, simply because I already had to remake part 2 as it did get cut off from part 1, and then therefore the end of part 2 got cut off again. So obviously there's a lot of information there that the enemy obviously just doesn't want us to know, or wants us to tap into, per se. If you're new to the channel, I'm a psychic, I'm an intuitive, I do messages, I do, I share my wisdom and knowledge, whether it's esoteric or occult or spiritual, if you want to say. And also, I do readings to help give guidance and clarity, or maybe confirmations and things that you might already need to know, or that you do know. At the same time, I keep talking about the 22 paths of tarot that I've walked. And so what I have here is I actually have the 22 major arcana, and basically I have broke them down into a simple form of either into two halves. Either one half is basically talking about how it is represented, in yourself or your identity, which could technically be, maybe more, your conscious, your subconscious, your psychology part, or it could also be like your outer reality, your physical reality, and then the other half will be more like transformation and wholeness and how to become one. Per se, the self and the identity would actually be, I think, more. Now that I'm actually, thinking about it, I think more. I'm pretty sure the way it's implied is those cards, self and identity, would be more, your self, your identity, your reality. And then the other half is, how it would be applied to transform, or have to make a transformation, and to heal, and to bring more healness and awareness. So what I want to do is we're probably just going to try to keep these short and sweet and to the point. And then we're going to get maybe, oh, look at that, right off the rip. Do you want this upright or down the reverse? Upright. Okay, so, right off the rip here, just for an example, we got temperance. Temperance talks about, transformation and wholeness, basically within ourselves, and what we need to do internally. And it basically says, in the upright, it talks about your third eye. So you might need to work on your third eye, or you could be working on your third eye, or you could be needing to work on your heart chakra, and or you are working on your heart chakra, and this is therefore confirmation to you. And it basically talks about, finding the meaning, the middle path, and having patience, and learning that higher learning. It can also be linked, to a strong connection to your crown. So I guess what we're gonna do here is we're gonna quickly do kind of like mini reads, I suppose. At least that's my intention. I am gonna use the basic Rider-Waite Tarot that I used along with my spiritual path and journey, and I still like to use them just as a good quick reference tool, and also in how to just kind of quickly get the message out there a little bit quicker than potentially just chit-chatting all day and all night. because some of us just have the gift of gabbing, I guess, and we could be here all day talking about plenty of things. I like to talk, and I like to learn, and I like to hear people. Obviously, I like to help them out if I can. And that's what it's about. I hope everybody's doing okay today or tonight. And I just utterly screwed up big time. Pretty sure I did. Did I? Hold on. Okay, no. I saved it. I believe I saved it, guys. Believed it? Nope, I did not save it. I did not. I knew there was something off there. Okay, okay. I probably actually, oh no. Did I really just like jumble these all up? I hope I didn't. I think I did though. Yep, I think I did. Just bear with me here then real quick. I don't know if anybody's ever done that or not. You guys ever shuffled it and then realized that you actually accidentally had it the wrong way, and then it's just all whatever, Hope everybody's doing okay today or tonight. While you just patiently, I guess, wait on me to fix my And here I was trying to make a video just pretty quick, and just get it out there, give a message or clarity of potentially what you need to know or what you need to integrate potentially, and bringing more temperance to you or your reality or your surrounding. Obviously, please use your own intuition and your own discernment, and how it can apply and fit to you in your best way or best interest possible. If it doesn't resonate, then obviously do not take it or make it fit you or your story. Alright. And let's get one more. I think we are good now. Sheesh, I ain't done that in a minute. Alright, cool. We're good. I think we're good. I didn't really see anything there. Alright, so how can this collective, find the meaning, potentially the middle path, patience, higher learning, and linked to the third eye or the heart chakra? Let's get 3 cards, please and thank you. 3 cards, please and thank you, Spirit. I know some people, they'll be knocking on the cards and all that, and I don't really personally think you need to do that sometimes, Sometimes you can just jump into it, and sometimes you can't. Exactly. Talking about the world. Successful completion. Let's talk about reaping rewards. Maybe somebody's reaping rewards. Definitely reaping rewards. Definitely completing a cycle. A big cycle. Definitely being... I see this collective also, either you are very grateful and gratitude in the lessons and learned and the understanding and completing these cycles and bringing you new beginnings, or maybe this is what Spirit is asking you to do, and to also, have patience with yourself as you successfully move through completion of maybe Saturn's energy and reaping the rewards, with the World card here. Cover up delicate parts of the soul, and then also representing the Ten of Swords, which can talk about moving past a lot of mental anguish, burdens, delays, a lot of brain fog. You obviously might be working with Archangel Michael here. I do see potentially Taurus, Leo, and maybe Gemini, or Taurus, Leo, Gemini so far. And moving away from whatever this emotional blockages is. With moving past the delays and setbacks and feeling stuck from potentially refusing change, which brings us growth. So either this collective, you are moving past that and you have done this, or maybe spirit is wanting you to do so. And to move past, talking about the hermit in reverse, which definitely can talk about, loneliness, isolation, paranoia, you know, doubt. But with this in the reverse, usually I would say, this is coming out of hermit mode. So whoever this is for, obviously, maybe you're stepping into the limelight. Maybe you're stepping onto stage. Maybe I'm talking to another content creator, or maybe another reader that may be coming out of a dark night of the soul and ready to share all your wisdom and knowledge with the collective. And that's what's up. And if not, this is simply just talking about taking all the wisdom and knowledge and lessons that you have learned, that you have integrated, and that you have maybe experienced, and how to move forward in the best way potentially possible. And if you haven't done this, then obviously, Spirit and the Divine, your angels are definitely helping you through this time, at this time, with that energy as well. And let's just get two more, please and thank you, Spirit. Two more. All right, one. Let's talk about the Nine of Wands, which can also, again, represent, a lot of persistence, so maybe you've had to be very persistent. Maybe you've had to do maybe you're realizing that you're a lot more self-resilient, and believe it in yourself. Excuse me, by the way. I burped if you didn't know. But that's talking about the self resilience, the nearing a completion, and again, with the solitude. Maybe you've been in solitude, and maybe you've been overthinking, while you've been in solitude. But I see that you're coming out of this solitude. Obviously with the world. That's talking about a very big completionist. Also with the Ten of Swords in reverse, again talking about another yet a big completion, another big lesson learned. Getting moving towards having that wheel of fortune actually flip up, and moving in our favor. And maybe this is what is required of you to actually get this. Maybe this collective has done the work, but maybe now it's time for you to take that action, to come and step out of hermit mode, and to actually use that wisdom and knowledge that you've gained, and strengthening your gifts and crafts and your abilities, and however that might fit you or your story, and obviously, and move and being persistent, with, I see this, as with the Nine of Wands here, and wands, represent, fire, so, maybe this could be, maybe you're getting fired up. Maybe you're getting that inner flame, that inner turmoil actually moving and going, for that self-resilience, and that persistence of, and helping, and maybe the spirit team and angels are helping you, give you that energy, and helping you push you, away from isolation, away from hermit mode, and, nearing a completion, which then would also turn the wheel upright in your favor, and actually have good positive things moving in for you at that time. And I was going to get one more, but we'll get two more. Yeah, exactly. We're talking about the Tower. Boom, right there, right underneath the Wheel of Fortune, bro. Sometimes we have to go through change. Sometimes we have to go through difficult situations, and the Tower doesn't always necessarily represent a bad thing. We can go through towers, and it could be a good thing. We could have things happen to us, and then just like that, it's a beautiful thing, or it works out to our favor. So it's not always to say that a tower is a bad thing. It just simply means that there's a very sudden change. And so maybe that's what's required of you is for you to come out of solitude, which could be a very sudden change. Maybe I'm talking to a lone wolf, or maybe I'm talking to somebody that's maybe just kind of kept to themselves or preserved themselves. But obviously that you're being called to do something and to take action, and to also potentially move past overindulgence, potentially arrogance or arrogancy, and that might be also what's hindering you on an emotional level. Maybe you are overindulging, and Spirit's asking you, whatever that overindulgence is, that you might arrogantly think is not a problem. It obviously is a problem, because it's blocking your Ten of Cups, which is you're talking about your ultimate basically emotional fulfillment in a sense. It's not quite, or is that the 9? That's the 9. Excuse me, 9. Yes, apologies. Right. 9. Yes, this is 9, not 10. 9. Which 9? That can still represent a very successful, independent, a very abundant person, feeling yourself, and self confidence, and self reliance, self resilient, and maybe whatever these overindulgences are. Obviously it's keeping you from actually being in that 9 of Cups, which is more of that single, sexy, and self-sufficient. Be your own boss, be your own CEO, or just ultimately just feeling emotionally fulfilled within yourself, whether you are single or you are with a person, and you don't technically need to rely on that person, although it's great to have partners and spouses in our life to co-create and to have those that team player with us. But at the same time, until we can actually pour into our own cup and our own emotions, and we can successfully do that ourselves and not be codependent on either addictions or overindulgences, and potentially, again, codependency or something like that. And then also, again, being persistent, having that determination, having that resilience, having, coming out of that solitude, coming out of that loneliness, coming out of the paranoia, maybe, or doubt of uncertainty of, where, if you do step out or you take this action, or however this might be. This could be a new job, this could be a relationship, this could be a home change, a location change. Only you will know how this can apply and fit to you and your situation. But ultimately, Spirit's saying that until you want to do so, obviously, oh, I flipped these. Why did I flip those? So either way, I don't know. I'll read that actually backwards. Okay, and this could also represent that maybe you have come out of isolation, you have come out of hermit mode, you have completed that cycle, stepping into that new beginning with the lessons learned into the world, and maybe now with those lessons learned, maybe now you're more persistent within your own self resilience, your own self things that you needed to do, and kind of coming out of that that potentially that wounded warrior kind of energy, or that victim mentality, and more of a that I can, and I will, and I know I should, and I'm going to take action on that and become single, sexy, and sufficient, and pour into my own self, into my own desires, into my own things that I wish to cultivate and manifest for my reality. And obviously moving past the setbacks and feeling stuck and refusing growth or change and delays, and obviously again this collective could obviously be past that, and you know, maybe you're just now needing to take the action for that to manifest. Oh, epic fail. And we'll get two clarifiers real quick, and then I think we're gonna close it out. We're just gonna keep them rolling, probably like that right there, and that way they're kind of short, sweet, to the point. I think you guys kind of appreciate that and you like that. So I'm not always going to try to make the videos lengthy. I'll just try to get to how they might fit, how they might resonate. One or two cards here, please and thank you, Spirit. There's one. Do we want another one? No. I'm not taking those. Not taking those. Not taking those. Okay, so your confirmation is basically ignite your creation. Harness innovation and fuel your imagination, because imagination is the key to manifesting. They don't tell you that, but it is. And to witness, oh my goodness, and to witness manifestations as answered unfold in your journey of discovery. That's right, discovering yourself. As the more you discover and pour into yourself and the things you're passionately you love to do, that fill your own cup, that bring your own emotional fulfillment and joy into you and your life and your reality, you know, it's kind of how you ignite that creation. That's kind of how you move past this paranoia of doubt and you know, persistence, if you haven't already, and actually get that wheel of fortune to turn upright in your reality. Which, that's actually ironic we were talking about this, because that third part of that video I was going to put actually it breaks down a part of the wheel of fortune, you know, so that's just ironic. But yeah, I'm going to leave it short and sweet. I hope you like that. If you like the book of reading with me, redcardinaltarot@gmail.com. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share. You know, if you'd like to donate to my Cash App, to the channel. There's definitely a couple more decks I'd like to pick up and help do this channel and give messages out with that. So yeah, that's what I got for you on this one. Peace out, deuces, and we're probably just gonna rapid fire these back. So, you know, definitely get some popcorn, get some drink, you know, kick your feet up, I guess. You know, hope it's Thursday. Why not start entering this this weekend into a good vibe? And you know, Spirit's definitely calling me to just to get these out here, just to roll with it. And that's kind of why Spirit was also guiding me to use again, part of my own things that I have cultivated and created that helped me along my way. And in that way, as you also see, we have delivered a beautiful, great message. I hope this finds who it will, and I know it will, through the algorithm and the channel. And then also hope to catch you on the next one. Deuces.